Hey, what's up, guys? It's Tommy here, and I'm a black, Latino, queer, trans man living in Florida. Yo, so this video is going to be a tad bit all over the place, and I'm feeling a little under the weather, so I'm going to ask you just to be very patient with me as I talk to you about the IVF process and simultaneously celebrate the fact that it is Pride Month. So, IVF first. Went to go speak to the doctor along with my partner, and I'm still trying to process my feelings about that. But basically, we're looking at a bill of $30,000 or $175,000. So there's that, and that's pretty insane. So we are now talking about how we are going to get the money to do all that. It's just insane because I personally feel like there's a lot on my plate now. There's a ton on my plate, and I have to figure out how to get all this stuff. A part of me is even thinking like, man, I'm gonna have to go back to school or figure out different ways to make money, side hustles, and things of that nature, because the kid is one part. I still want to get married and have an engagement and maybe a small get together for a wedding, and there's buying a space for us to live in. So there's a lot of things down the pipeline, and I know I'm not by myself, but it still feels overwhelming nonetheless. And I just wonder, like, how in the world do people in the United States, like, how do we live? How do we put food on the table? How do people do this? So I'm just having, life problems, life challenges, I just say. Meeting life on life terms. That's what I'm doing. So, yeah, that's where we're at. We're going to, I know one of the things I want to do is bring up my personal training business. And that's going to be tough too, because personal training is a very tough industry, period. There's a lot of people who are personal trainers. There's that. And there's also the fact that, like, people don't understand the fitness aspect, the health aspect, and then I would say, like, the overall lifestyle aspect of being fit in the United States. I often see that people think as personal training as a luxury, but in a lot of cases, it really is a necessity, because most people wouldn't do anything if it wasn't for their trainer. I've heard that so many times, like, but if you didn't come today, Tommy, I wouldn't have worked out. So there's that. Pride Month. Yay! Happy Pride, happy Pride, happy Pride. Remember that Pride started as resistance, it started as a riot. And it was a black trans woman that threw the first brick at the cops pop, and boom, all hell broke loose, and the fight for equality, sexual equality, sexual expression, love started. And as a queer black trans man, today I'm having a lot of different feelings about Pride. Part of me is happy, to be able to celebrate with my siblings. Another part of me is, like, kind of sad, because I know that while I'm celebrating, there's people who are suffering in the world. There's the conflict in Gaza, there's the conflict in Congo and Sudan. There are about 13 different world conflicts at the current moment, and my heart goes out to those people, because they are not simple things. They're not simple problems to solve. And I've always hated how political issues can just grow so big. That's always been pretty sucky. A lot, It's also, like, the other thing as a sober trans man that makes me a little, not like mad, but it's kind of sad, really, is how, like, Pride tends to be centered around partying, drinking, and, the stuff that comes along with other stuff that people do, the party favors, we'll call it. And oftentimes it leaves some of us feeling a little left out. But here are some suggestions to celebrate Pride in a sober way or in just a different way, right? Get involved with your local organizations. Some of them are doing classes and workshops that don't have to do with drinking and partying and getting loud. Donate to your favorite organizations, volunteer, get involved, get involved, get involved. This year, voting is super important. Get involved in voting. Make sure you're registered to vote. 1, 2, make sure that, we got all your IDs ready. I know here in Florida, some of the organizations are getting ready to have like safe spaces so that trans people can go and vote in peace. I know that I myself with the Acumen Squad and the Yes Institute, we are doing a self-defense, self-empowerment course with the Yes Institute on June 22nd. And that's going to be really just a course on trying to help people de-escalate situations and to feel better about themselves and their own bodies in ways that we can protect ourselves. That's another thing that's going on that I can tell you about. I also have a trans support group that I facilitate. We meet every third Friday of the month. Boom, if you want to come, holler at your boy, send me a little message or leave me a comment and I'll figure out a way to connect with you. The group meets through Zoom mainly, and it's just a space for people to feel like they can get support, but also empowerment, because I have my main rule in my group is that we can whine all we want, but we gotta always end on a positive note. So those are just some of the things that are going on. I know the HRC is doing things, Equality Florida, a lot of different groups are doing things to kind of keep the morale of the community up. Listen, I know there's some people who are upset that there's a Pride Month. I don't know why those people get upset. I really don't. I feel like there's so many things that you could be upset about. Look, if you don't want to celebrate Pride, it's cool. It's also Men's Mental Awareness or Mental Health Month, and it's also Caribbean Pride Month. So you can be prideful about whatever else, and you could leave the LGBT Pride community alone while you celebrate whatever else you want to celebrate. There's enough room at the table for everybody. Unfortunately, you have been probably taught that there isn't, but there really is. There's enough food to go around. We live in a space of abundance, but we've been taught a scarcity mindset. Anyway, be blessed. Happy Pride. Go celebrate. Go donate. Go volunteer. Go hug somebody that is queer. I'm out.